pushed, she pulled, and she tried everything, but those tiny little boots simply would not go on. Why wouldn't this 3-year-old's boots fit? He had worn them in that morning. What she found inside those boots turned a frustrating moment into one she'd never forget. He was only 3. He just wanted to go play in the fresh snow. But before he could go outside, his teacher had one very puzzling problem. A preschool teacher thought she was simply helping a little boy put on his boots. She didn't realize she was about to witness something wonderfully innocent about childhood. Sometimes the smallest moments become the memories we carry forever, and on this snowy day, a teacher was about to discover one of those moments. Our title, The Boots That Wouldn't Fit, Until He Told Her Why. Welcome to Dream Builders Diaries, building dreams one story at a time, and I'm Jeannie Kraft. Here at Dream Builders Diaries, we dive deep into the personal stories of entrepreneurs, artists, innovators, and everyday visionaries just like you. We believe that every dream starts with a story worth telling, and by sharing these stories, we aim to empower you to create your own dream and the story behind it. But before we get started, grab a paper and a pencil if you don't already have one. Inspiration, ideas, and dreams come and go very quickly. Jot it down. Don't let yours get away. She pushed the boot on. It wouldn't fit. She tried again. Still nothing. When she finally got it on, what he told her would make her look inside the boots, and suddenly everything made sense. Every parent and teacher knows getting a 3-year-old dressed can always be an adventure, but this little boy's solution to the boot problem was absolutely priceless. It's that time of year, school supplies, looking in the closet to see what still fits, what needs to be passed on to the next child, socks, underwear, shoes, pants, shirts, coats, hats, and of course, boots. Not yet coat season here. Sweaters in the evenings as August moves into September, but it could snow any time in the mountains of Colorado. But, who doesn't want to just be prepared, right? Just as parents are preparing, teachers at all levels are preparing too. They're gathering school supplies and remembering the students that did so well last year. Teachers remember because those are the reasons they decided to teach in the first place. The students who succeed and the students who make you smile over and over again. This diary is from a teacher who had been teaching preschool for about 3 years. In the last 3 years, she had been moved from the infants to the toddlers to the pre-kindergarten group. But this year, she was going to be teaching a group of first-year, 3-year-old preschoolers. Preschoolers have many different levels of learning and communicating. Her group of lively 3-year-olds made her smile as she shared this diary from a few years past. Anyone who's ever dressed a child will love this one. Getting a 3-year-old ready for snow could be simple, yet on this particular day, she couldn't get his boots on. He was almost ready to play in the snow, except for one tiny problem. What is up with these boots? She shared, it all started as I was helping one of the children put on his boots. He had asked for help after struggling for just a few moments. The other children had already made it out into the chill of the morning. Fresh snow had fallen and was light and fluffy. The children were covered with it almost immediately. She shook her head as she remembered another little one who had gotten himself covered in flour. That was another story for another day. So as the little one struggled with his down coat on, she could see why getting his boots on was a real challenge. She knelt beside the little one and slipped his new down coat jacket off. As it slid to the floor, the little boy gave a sigh of relief. He slid into her lap like it was something he does every single day. He had his Elmo socks on, and he put those on her knees, and she began to grab and tug on the little brown boot. She pushed his little legs in. He pushed his little legs in just the right way, but no luck. Even when we're pulling and him pushing, the little boot still didn't want to go on beyond the heel. After one enormous push, they got the first boot on. By the time they got the second boot on, the teacher had worked up a sweat. The little guy struggled to stand up, and once on his feet, she almost cried when the little boy said, "Miss T, they're on the wrong feet." She looked, and sure enough, they were. "Well, we can't have that," she smiled. It wasn't any easier pulling the boots off than it was putting them on, so the process started all over again. She managed to keep her cool as together they worked to get the boots back on, this time on the right feet. "How's that?" Miss T asked as the little man struggled to his feet again. He then announced, "These aren't my boots." She bit her tongue rather than just losing her cool, and she smiled again and said, "Why didn't you say so?" Once again, she struggled to help him pull the ill-fitting boots off his little feet a second time. No sooner had they gotten the boots off when he said, "They're my brother's boots. My mom said I could wear them if I could get them on." Now she didn't know if she should laugh or cry, so she mustered up what grace and courage she had left to wrestle the boots on his feet again. "How did you get them on at home?" she said with patience overflowing from her practiced smile. "Oh, my daddy helped me," he said with blue eyes twinkling up at her. She reached for the new coat, turning it so he could possibly manage to get it on himself. He almost got it, so she assisted him in getting his left arm into his new coat. She asked, "Now, where are your gloves?" As she snapped the crisp new snaps on the belly of his jacket. He said, "I put him in my boots so I wouldn't lose him." He had stuffed them into the toes of his boots. No wonder those boots wouldn't go on, she thought, and off the boots came again. Sure enough, the gloves were packed firmly into the toes of the boots. Once she got them released from the toe box prison, she realized they matched the new coat. The boots slid on the third time without another grunt from either one of them. About time, she thought. At that moment, the schoolroom door burst open, with 18 other children, all covered in snow, running into the classroom to tell Miss T about the snow and their adventures of the last 20 minutes. The break was over, but her job was far from being done. It was adapted. His coat was on, no gloves to be seen. The teacher thought the boots were maybe too small until she discovered the sweetest little surprise reason his boots wouldn't go on. So as we think about this, what's your biggest takeaway from our diary today? And how does this diary relate to how you implement your dream? Why this diary? Because this diary demonstrates the magic and beauty of determination, a teacher's desire to teach, and a child's trust in telling his teacher, well, this teacher, about everything he knew about his boots. I also share this diary because this powerful diary also celebrates the virtues of how priceless childhood really is. It passes so quickly, with only 18 summers to make memories. Dreamers, believe in yourself, be passionate, work smart, know your why, and apply what you learn each day. Enjoy life and always, always be kind. I want to leave you with this quotation. She is not afraid of mice. She loved winter, snow, and ice. That's by Ludwig Bellemans. She is not afraid of mice. She loved winter, snow, and ice. Thank you, Miss T, for showing us your resilience and reminding us of the little learners who start in 3-year-old classrooms this fall for the very first time. Your story is what makes teaching such a special experience for so many great teachers, especially preschool teachers. Special thanks to those of you who listen to Dream Builders Diaries regularly. I'm grateful to you. The honor to spend time with you is all mine. Check out the other diaries in the Mind Dream Implement playlist. If you don't have it yet, get your 90-Day Dream Builders Diary by Jeannie Krapp on Amazon. The link is in the description. Like and share this diary. Subscribe for more. Contact us to share your story. Thank you, and until next time, building dreams one story at a time.